We've seen below freezing temperatures in the Houston area for more than 24 hours now, and the frigid cold is going to stick around through the holiday weekend.
Tonight we have team coverage. We're taking a look at how this Arctic blast is impacting your travel plans, last-minute holiday shopping, and of course the power grid. But up first, we want to get right to David Paul. How low will the temperatures get, and when will we get back above freezing, Dave?
Tonight's 20 or teens. We'll go over that question. And then as we get into the weekend, we will see afternoon highs above freezing. But both mornings, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, are going to be very cold with hard freeze warnings continuing in effect. These were high temps today. Houston, Bush Continental just touched the freezing mark. We did not get above it today. Hobby got it above it by 2 degrees. They had a high of 34. Conroe 31 was the high. Huntsville a high temp of only 29 degrees. So indeed it was cold, way below normal. Temperatures right now, Bush at 25, Hobby 27, Pearland 26, Galveston below freezing at 31 right now. Still looking at dew points, which are very, very unusually low. A dew point of 5 in Houston means it's very, very dry. Normally in the summer, we have a dew point of 70. That's really humid, so that's why your skin and your lips are chapping a little bit. Still have a north breeze at 10 to 15, 20 on the coast, and every now and then we're getting a gust to 30 on the Galveston coast, and that is keeping it feeling very, very cold. These are current wind chills. Hobby feels like 15, Pearland feels like 15, Sugarland feels like 16, Conroe feels like 14, so stay bundled up. We're going to go low tonight. We've got a hard freeze warning, but teens or 20s. I'll show you why that's in question tonight. And we'll talk about the Christmas Eve and Christmas Day forecast that Santa is going to love. And I see you again in a few minutes.
We'll see you then. Thank you, Dave. All new at 10 o'clock, the city of Houston is now asking residents to call 311 to report leaks. That's any water leak, whether it's in your home or a public leak. The freeze has likely caused pipes to burst. You should provide information on the size and location of the leaks. The city will determine if they can fix the leak. If not, they will redirect you to someone who can.
The frigid weather is causing major problems with holiday travel, and even if there's no snow and ice here, there's plenty of it in other parts of the country. Matt Doherty takes a closer look at how this winter storm is even affecting last-minute deliveries just days before Christmas. Matt.
Yeah, Ron, the winter storm isn't just slowing down passengers, it's postponing Christmas gifts as well. Outside this UPS store in West Houston, a driver is loading her final packages of the day. Things inside the store were quiet this afternoon, which was not the case yesterday, we're told. Gift givers mailing packages at the last minute had their fingers crossed, hoping their presents will make it to their destinations on time. Tonight, there's no guarantee they will. UPS sent us this statement earlier saying the winter weather is impacting service, including UPS hubs in Louisville, Kentucky and Rockford, Illinois. Amazon is experiencing problems from the winter storm too. They say there may be delays to some customer orders, but Amazon is doing everything they can to minimize the impact. Travelers lined up by the dozen at Southwest Airlines baggage check at Hobby Airport tonight, anxious to get out of town for Christmas weekend. Not all of them would get on a flight tonight, though. We spoke with one traveler who said her best hope to see her mom in Chicago this weekend was on her new flight set to depart tomorrow. But she's skeptical that flight will even happen. Here at Hobby Airport, there have been dozens of cancellations and well over 100 delays. Southwest Airlines has had more cancellations and delays than any other carrier. They're saying that 1 in every 4 flights today was canceled. Back to you.
Oh, tough to deal with. Matt Doherty at Hobby Airport tonight. Thank you. Some Houstonians who prefer brick and mortar over online stores are still out shopping. And as Zach Tawatari found out, the cold is not keeping those last-minute gifts from finding their way under the tree. Zach, what did shoppers tell you about braving these conditions?
Well, man, Ron, it seems like no matter how much we plan, there are always those last-minute gifts that seem to elude us. But those shoppers told me tonight, not even Mother Nature could stop their holiday spirit.
Inside stores like Academy in Meyerland, there's no moment like the last minute.
We just didn't have a lot of time
to check those lists twice.
Our family Christmas gifts.
Jacket, shoes, tennis shoes.
But standing in their way this year were frigid conditions just to get in the door.
We actually had to run our water it was so cold last night, and we just had to come out in coats. We had like 2 coats in the car, and we just had to be ready.
It's cold, so it's slowing me down a little bit because it's taking me a little bit of time to get warm, but we're trying to get it done.
The lines themselves were about what you'd expect, but there was plenty of room for gifts of all shapes and sizes, even the ones that might not fit under the tree.
It's actually for our house, so kind of a together gift to ourselves.
Among the gifts topping those lists, those with a championship pedigree.
Them are jerseys with the World Series logo.
But with the clock ticking and the cold lingering, they weren't going home empty-handed.
I have to get my baby boy his jersey.
Zach Tawatari, KHOU 11 News.
And here's a live look at the CenterPoint outage map. Right now, around 3,700 customers are without power, but these are mostly isolated outages and nothing out of the ordinary. Still, CenterPoint crews have been working around the clock to get the lights back on. That number climbed as high as 14,000 today. People we talked with in the Songwood neighborhood were without power for more than 16 hours beginning early last night.
I felt like we were in the freezer. It was really, really cold. You could see our breath when we talked. I had to bring my dog with me. She was shivering.
Tonight, CenterPoint Energy is asking customers to conserve power. They're also experiencing record usage of natural gas. Grace White joins us live in the newsroom where she's watching the grid. Hey, Grace.
Look at the supply and demand on the Texas grid. There's a lot less space here than what we saw earlier in the day. Let's break down the fuel mix now. We're seeing solar, of course, went down as the sun set. We've also lost a lot of wind. But right now, look at natural gas, around 70% carrying the bulk of the load. And let's check the reserves. We're still in the green here, which is good news. But last night, we used more power than what ERCOT projected.
We have a lot more businesses. We have many more people in the state than they've been counting on. I don't know how they missed the counts, but the demand is a lot higher.
ERCOT was expecting the peak time for energy use to be earlier today, so now that we're past that, they're expecting usage to go down. But regardless, tonight could be a lot tighter on the grid than last night as we enter a second night below freezing. Rana, Mia.
We'll pick it up from here. Grace White, thank you. Some of the warming centers around Houston are extending their hours of operation. The George R. Brown Convention Center and Acres Homes Multi-Service Center will now be open until Christmas Day. 2 other smaller centers will close tomorrow. Anyone still in need of a place to keep warm at those locations will be taken to the GRB, where more than 850 people are seeking shelter right now. More than 1,000 people in total have occupied the city's warming centers.
The Houston Humane Society was busy rescuing bats freezing under the Wall Street Bridge. 138 have been taken for rehab after falling from their roost. Caretakers are using warming bins to help save as many as possible. They're also adding rubber padding under the bridge to soften the landing for any more bats that might fall.
Anytime this weekend, you can text the word freeze to 713-526-1111. Now, this will give you access to the latest details on warming centers, boil water notices, and power outages. It can also give you tips on protecting your home during this hard freeze.